Well, I don't know if I can. I don't know if I can call us a very serious country when a day before Christmas, suddenly our government finds 1 million new files to release to the public. But just poof, 1 million more files. Now, I don't know what's in these files. We're going to talk a little bit about that. I have a feeling Donald Trump might know a little bit what's in there. He alluded to it in a Christmas Day tweet storm or Truth Social storm, where he says that some Democrats will be named. Now, I'll tell you this. First and foremost, these files that we've seen have largely been a nothing burger. The 10 to 20 co-conspirators thing, then it ended up being early in the investigation. That was really the only interesting thing of note, unless you just like looking at creepy pictures. I mean, there certainly are creepy pictures, but nothing in these files have the most important thing is they haven't led to any arrests. There hasn't even been any information in them that really makes me think somebody is going to get arrested. But now 1 million more files. I wonder if they were out of the Southern District of New York. I wonder if they were being protected by certain people. Let's get into this. By the way, New Year's is coming up. It's just 5 days away. And I have a great idea for you. If you're going to a New Year's party or you're hosting somebody, there's a link in the description to my coffee store where you can get any one of my coffees in time for New Year's. Some of it overnight. Strongly recommend vanilla sugar cookie and hot butter rum and gingerbread for New Year's Eve, or apple strudel or butterscotch toffee. They're all there. If you don't want flavored, we have all of our unflavored stuff, and we have it all available in K-Cups too. Link in the description. Support the show and be a hero. Bring some coffee. You'll need some that night or the next day. Breaking: President Trump says Democrat names are about to come out from the Epstein files. Enjoy what may be your very last Merry Christmas. Now, I don't know. It seems like Trump might know something about this. This is all on the heels of the DOJ saying the U.S. Attorney for the Southern District of New York and the FBI have informed the Department of Justice that they have just uncovered over 1 million more documents potentially related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. The DOJ has received these documents from SDNY and the FBI to review them for release in compliance with the Epstein Files Transparency Act, existing statutes, and judicial orders. We have lawyers working around the clock to review and make the legally required redactions to protect victims, and we will release the documents as soon as possible. Due to the mass volume of material, the process may take a few more weeks. The department will continue to fully comply with federal law and President Trump's direction to release the files. Again, you see 1 million files and still nobody has faced justice. I think we just see the names of every lawyer, judge, and agent, etc. over the years who didn't do anything. Yeah, no client list, so you have 1 million more documents, pictures, and presumably videos, but no one did anything except Jeffrey, right? Could you please cease and desist undermining the president? It's quite clear the whole thing is being done to make him look bad. Look, my position has always been, I would not be surprised if there were pictures of Trump on the island or not on the island, but like on the plane, hanging out with people. But I never thought that he was ever involved in any diddling. He likes him young, but he likes him of age. Okay. The issue here is the diddling. And it doesn't seem like we're getting any information around that whatsoever. I mean, are we even serious here? Kash Patel, Pam Bondi. Here's Mike Cernovich. When Pam Bondi gave us the binders, she told us that there was no new information, but that volume 2 is coming soon. See? She claimed Southern District of New York had hidden the files. See this letter from February 27th, 2025. Then she and Kash Patel said no files. Today they said 1 million more files. I mean, this kind of stuff is absolutely unforgivable. In my opinion, they're probably all in on it. Democrats, Republicans, independents, they're all in on it, right? Anybody who had a bunch of money or had any bunch of influence was probably on the island. There's probably compromise. I believe that Jeffrey did, in fact, and there is evidence that points to this, that Jeffrey did try to get compromise on President Trump and just simply failed to do so. Now the Justice Department is scrambling to find holiday volunteers to redact these new files. Now, I know this is an unpopular position, but I've just been on the release everything as it is train because, quite honestly, unless it's like, video, like, gross stuff, that kind of stuff. But like, because the more stuff you redact, the more like questions you leave, the more openings for questions you leave. A supervising prosecutor in the Southern District of Florida U.S. Attorney's Office emailed the entire staff on Tuesday, 2 days before Christmas, announcing emergency requests for the Deputy Attorney's Office the SDFL must assist with. According to a copy of the email reviewed by CNN, we need AUSAs to do remote document review and redactions related to the Jeffrey files, the email said. All I've seen right now, to be totally honest, is these files leading to a bunch more money for FBI agents. The FBI has paid nearly $1 million in overtime to redact the Jeffrey files. $1 million. So the FBI agents are making thousands and thousands of dollars more. We've got nothing. We've really got nothing interesting in these files. It's all like Fugazi. Who knows if they're making up all these files with AI at this point? By the way, this is the thing. President Trump shoots a warning shot at friends of Jeffrey in the Merry Christmas post. Merry Christmas to all, including the many sleazebags who love Jeffrey Epstein. Enjoy what may be your very last Merry Christmas. Now, maybe that means Donald Trump has seen these files that were, in my opinion, most likely hidden by the Southern District of New York. We know that's basically where all the corruption is. We basically know that's where all the scumbaggery is in terms of the United States government. That's where the Diddy trial was. That's where Jeffrey's trial was. All these big trials end up in the Southern District of New York, whose leading member is James Comey's daughter. The more stuff I see this comment in the comment section too, writing, I'm convinced that the diddling claims are National Enquirer nonsense. The bigger story is his involvement in the Iran-Contra pipeline, his subsequent use as a CIA asset. Yeah, I mean, we know that he did bring in some younger people. Like, he did bring in some young women to do his massages, and he was charged with stuff like that. So I don't know if it's all completely fake, but I would not be surprised if it's completely overblown. That's like the red herring. What he really was doing was helping our intelligence agencies gather compromise on foreign leaders and domestic leaders. I mean, with more than 1 million pages to go, justice struggles with these new files. What about all the video? What about all the video, the security cameras that were collected? It's very interesting. Now, the DOJ has officially missed a deadline for the full file release. Does that mean there will be charges? I don't know. American taxpayers are forcing $1 million bill. Also, Trump and his allies can get away with having, done terrible things. Well, I don't know about that. As of right now, I've seen nothing even questionably redacted. There's very, very, very little. It's mostly just been nonsense. I mean, the FBI released knowingly released a fake letter that was submitted to derail President Trump's election in 2020. We know that much. We also know the FBI released a completely unfounded claim set to derail his presidential run. Those are the two biggest bombshells, and they ended up being fake. One, Jeffrey's letter was mailed 3 days after he was dead. And two, the other one was some crazy person that was like, just some schizo who would call in tips all the time to the FBI. So there really was nothing. Now, Asmongold talks about this. He says, trust is broken in the Jeffrey Files. Fallout calls out mega influencers who are staying silent. I don't know any mega influencers who are staying silent. I'm not, but I guess I'm not a mega influencer. I guess like I'm definitely very loud about it, but I'm also very realistic about it. I'm trying to say that like, I've been on the record saying we were just never going to get anything good. We were never going to get, oh my gosh, here's a Democrat leader who, was involved and now he's going to get arrested. That was just never going to happen. If this is the reality of it, and it's still worth covering if stuff comes out, but like, if Jeffrey had any decent compromise, what do you think would have happened to it? Do you think the FBI would have turned it over to the American people? Or do you think maybe they knew he had all this compromise and they said, I guess we'll just keep this for a later date? That's kind of what I think. Don't forget, link in the description. You can also just search up Coffee Brand Coffee on Amazon and click through to our store. Get yourself some coffee for New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. If you're going to a party, bring some coffee. Not everyone drinks alcohol. It's good to have some delicious coffee and to be supporting the channel. And you get it shipped. You'll have it in time for New Year's by Monday, December 29th, or most of it. Some of it will be overnight. Definitely check it out. I hope you enjoyed this video, and we'll talk to you again real soon.